Okay, the day is finally here. Today we'll be having an exciting conversation talking about a very special set of candles that was highly anticipated and highly requested by so many of you. If you spend some time on the channel, then you'll know Trudon is one of my all-time favorite candle houses. Maybe my overall favorite candle house, if I'm being totally honest. So, they recently released three very special candles in collaboration with Maitre Tseng or Master Tseng, and I happen to have all three of them. Cire Trudon in collaboration with Mâtre Tseng, celebrating the world of tea and its 5,000 years of history in China. This is the journey of water. Tseng comes from a very old Chinese family, being a descendant of Confucius' first disciple. As a tea master, she represents both tradition and modernity. More than 30 years ago, she ventured off on her first expedition trip on these old tea routes that are located in some of the most remote regions to ultimately reach the forest where precious tea leaves are harvested in extreme conditions. She spends much of her time in Asia working with some of the best tea producers, orchestrating each stage of production of the tea she creates. As a holder of this great tradition, Master Tseng has brought tea into the modern era, representing both tradition and modernity. This new candle collection in collaboration with Cire Trudon is named The Journey of Water. So, how does these new candles compare to the other Trudon core staple candles? Are they just as good? Well, it's a lot to unpack with these, so let's get into all the details about this new collection. In the early 1990s, Master Tseng created La Maison des Trois Teas in the heart of the Latin Quarter in Paris. La Maison des Trois Teas translates to the House of Three Teas, and it happens to be the largest tea seller in the world, a sanctuary for tea connoisseurs and professionals. La Maison des Trois Teas is described to be a library of tea where time stands still. It shows deep appreciation, expressing love of different tea objects, historic furniture pieces, and ancient ceramics. I've become quite fascinated with different teas from around the world lately. I've been thoroughly enjoying the taste of a good strong tea. I also love the taste of a very sweet tea as well. I've actually been enjoying tea a lot more than wine lately. If you've ever been to La Maison des Trois Teas in Paris, please let me know how you liked it. It's definitely a place I'll have to visit when I'm there. And excuse my French pronunciations throughout this conversation. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Full disclaimer, this set of candles was actually sent to me by Cire Trudon, which is kind of hard to grasp knowing they make some of the best home fragrances in the world, in my opinion. And also the creator of my favorite candle scent of all time, the Madeleine candle. If you know, you know. My nose finds that scent to be the most sophisticated scent I've ever experienced. This isn't a sponsored post or anything, they didn't even ask for this video, but they did tell me that I would for sure love the candles from this new collection. So, of course, I told them to send them over, and of course, I'm going to give you all my honest thoughts on them. When I found out about these new candles, I immediately posted to the community tab of the channel, expressing my excitement. And so many of you were just as excited as I was. I've been loving the direction Trudon has been heading with these new scents over the past couple of years, and also stepping it up with their vessel designs as well. The Winter Charms holiday collection from last year has been my favorite vessels from them so far. I hold the quality of Trudon to a very high regard, as I've mentioned in past conversations. I expect the absolute best from them when they release any new candles, and I approach these new candles with the same mindset. The focus surrounding the Mâtre Tseng collection is tea, of course, but it's an expression of the three different stages of water, going back to how she orchestrates each stage of her tea making process or production. Let's talk about these three different stages of water. The first stage in the journey of water is represented in the extraordinary scent of the L'Esprit de l'eau candle. It translates to the spirit of water. This first stage is where water remains between its vapor and liquid state. This is the in-between point where water hasn't yet made its decision on which direction it'll take. In a barely embodied purity, water remains in the shade of the mountains. Out of these three candles, this one is by far my favorite. It reminds me a lot like Madeleine. Not the scent itself, but the deep connection I feel when I put my nose to it provides the same feeling as I get with Madeleine. There's a light, airy, clean, mineral elegance to the scent that's incredibly polarizing. L'Esprit de Lutte has strong top notes of Somalia incense, juniper, and Madagascar black pepper, going into the deep essence of the mid notes of clear jasmine accord, mineral accord, and jasmine itself, mixing with the bright base of white orris accord, cedarwood Texas, and cypress France. You could say I'm a little biased calling this my favorite out of these three candles since I love the smell of jasmine, but it isn't prominent. I mean, jasmine is a key note, but this scent has so much more to offer. This scent was created by Benoit Lapouza, who's done an exceptional job at blending these complex notes together to make something outstanding. There's a strong mineral woody essence to this scent that's very enjoyable. Think of condensation and droplets of water forming on rocks of a Zen garden in the warm, foggy early morning hours. Think of just how crisp the air would be. That's L'Esprit de Lutte. On cold, there is some warmth and just a hint of spice coming from the top notes of incense, juniper, and black pepper. Pair that with the mineral accord and the muskiness of jasmine. That blend alone already makes this scent stand out quite a bit. When burning, the top notes are amplified on the opening at first, but quickly subsides with the introduction of the bright woody base mixing with the mineral and the jasmine mid notes. The cypress even comes through more, adding a distinct herbaceous touch that makes this scent even more unique. And of course, cedarwood is going to be a big keynote for providing clean warmth. The strength from the cold throw is going to be subtle. I would have loved for it to be on the stronger side to smell the scent more when it's just sitting out. The hot throw is what really matters and is going to perform just like any other Trudon candle I've experienced with a good strong hot performance. Not extremely strong, it's just in that perfect spot of a good strength. It fills a large enclosed space like a living room, family room, or bathroom with such a beautiful, airy, woody mineral scent. With these new candles, there's going to be different packaging and vessels as well. L'Esprit de Lutte will have the mint color on the packaging and vessel, which ties in perfectly with the scent that gives off that same airy feeling. It's a beautiful color to represent the purity of water. I also love how the label is in the shape of the Trudon crest, but has this golden abstract design to it. The same golden abstract design that's seen throughout the entire collection. It's a nice touch to the traditional Trudon crest. The lining of the vessels will also be gold, a Trudon staple for some of their special collections. L'Esprit de Lutte is described to illustrate high perspective and purity. This scent is a beautiful example of that. The second stage on the journey of water is represented in the warm floral scent of Cire Trudon. It translates to under a sky of petals, so expect this one to be a very heavy floral scent with both Jasmine Sambac and Jasmine grandiflorum, originating from the Himalayas. The origin of Cire Trudon's Chinese name is closely linked to the Eastern Fin Dynasty poem that Mâtre Tseng has written on the front of her tea cellar, Maison des Toities. It refers to the myth of Shangri-La, which is a heavenly garden where peach trees are in full bloom and are protected from time and the outside world. The existence of it cannot be revealed if you ever wish to return, sort of like a warning for whoever walks through the entrance of Shangri-La. This poem that's written at the entrance of Maison des Toities serves that same purpose. The scent of Cire Trudon is the flow of water enriched by the elements of earth. You remember how I said even though L'Esprit de Lutte doesn't have a strong pronounced note of jasmine? Well, this one is the complete opposite. As soon as I put my nose to this scent, I immediately pick up the strong, musky, yet a little sweet scent of jasmine. Extremely beautiful creation by Vincent Ricord. This has a bright opening with top notes of bergamot Italy, lemon Italy, and elemi. The heart notes are very prominent from the cold throw to the hot throw, with Jasmine Absolute Egypt and Sambac Jasmine Absolute India, with a good warm woody base of gaiac wood, incense oil, simoleon, and musk. My educated guess is that the notes are named by the specific regions where they are sourced from. Nonetheless, if you enjoy the scent of a warm, musky jasmine, this will be a great addition to a collection. I also gravitate towards the smell of bergamot and lemon together, and would have loved to have picked those notes up more in this scent, especially with them being top notes. I get that the focus translates to under a sky of petals, but I think bringing out more citrus would have brightened it up a bit more. Still an incredible scent that I will thoroughly enjoy, of course. Smelling this scent on cold, I get the prominent smell of jasmine, which is the same story for the hot throw as well. The warm woody base definitely comes through while burning, especially with the incense and gaiac wood. But that jasmine is what will make this the heavy floral scent it is. The cold throw is a little stronger than l'Esprit de Loup. Of course, the muskiness and floral will be a stronger scent experience. The hot throw is going to be strong, not overwhelming in any way. It fills a large space with no problem, with a pleasant soft jasmine scent mixed with the warmth from musk and woods. This will actually be a great scent for the bathroom or entryway. As soon as you walk through a door of a space, this will be an incredible scent to smell. The color chosen for the packaging and the vessel for Cire de Petals is this pastel blush color, which I personally feel depicts the soft floral scent of jasmine perfect. Let me know how you're feeling about this collection so far. Does any of these candles interest you? Let me know. This brings us to the third and final stage on the journey of water that's represented in a deep earthy scent of terre à terre, which translates to earth, and as you would assume is a strong earthy focused scent. This is where water is at one with the soil of the earth, a very grounding scent. This one, I would have to say, is my least favorite out of these candles. It would take some getting used to for me personally because of just how fragrantly earthy and complex this scent is. The Chinese name for terre à terre directly refers to a rich and fertile land that can feed all living beings. Created by Mylene Iran, this scent has an incredible depth, but also has a vibrancy to it with a bright opening coming from the top notes of violet leaf accord, grapefruit accord, elemi, and the mention of grapefruit again. Going into the mid notes of undergrowth accord, cypriol India, and patchouli Indonesia. The base is nicely rounded out with notes of ambergris accord, moss accord, ambergris again, and vetiver Haiti. A lot is happening with terre à terre, which makes this a more complex scent, but I appreciate how unique it smells. When I first put this to my nose, I instantly thought of moist earth that also has a hint of spice with just the slightest touch of sweet. My nose is having a hard time picking up any one specific note within this scent. I'm not getting any of the top notes on cold or when burning, but with the sweet, spicy touches I'm getting, I'm sure it's coming from the grapefruit or elemi, but nothing too distinctive. Overall, this scent is giving a strong woody, mossy earthiness with a mixture of the mid and base notes. This scent is described on the site as deep forest, so that right there should give a general idea of what to expect. This is a very polarizing scent in the sense that it takes me by surprise every time I put my nose to it. It's a full-bodied scent that's full of character. Definitely not for everyone, I can admit. So if you can, I would highly recommend getting your nose on this to see what I'm talking about. Or if you have it already, let me know your thoughts on it. This is probably the most earthy scent I've come across yet. Perfect if you love the more down-to-earth scents that has a lot of depth. Knowing the meaning behind this scent, I will learn to appreciate the creation of it. I'm also going to point out that this is the strongest performer out of these three candles, if strength is something that you look for most. The cold throw is more moderate. You will get occasional whiffs walking or sitting close to it. If I just had these three candles sitting out, terre à terre would be the most pronounced scent that I would smell. The hot throw performance is stronger than the average Trudon candle in my opinion, with a pronounced earthy personality. I would reserve this one for a medium to large size space where I spend most of my time. I'm looking forward to spending more time with this during the evening hours. There's something very grounding and captivating about this scent that I'm interested in. It reminds me of a stimulating sensation like walking barefoot on moist earth with the smell of undergrowth in the air. A great scent to represent water becoming one with the earth or deep forest. The color on this packaging for terre à terre is a deep red color, which I think is perfect to tie in with the deep earthiness of the scent. The gold design is also more pronounced on the packaging, as if it shows the intensity of the scent. Definitely something you should sniff before buying. I like to approach the three candles in this collection as one. If I burn one, then I have to burn the rest throughout the day. Sort of like a ritual. L'Esprit de Loup in the morning, Cire de Petals in the afternoon, and terre à terre in the evening. That last one, it's just going to take some getting used to for me. If you can get to a retailer that has this collection available to smell, I would highly recommend going and giving them a sniff. Oh, and call before you take the trip because I know some places don't always carry the newest Trudon candles. If you're in LA, I know for sure Candle Delirium and the Scent Bar, the one on Beverly Boulevard, has them on display to sniff. I'm always at either of those two places, which is how I know. They're my go-to for smelling the new releases from Cire Trudon and other new exclusive releases. I have to say, I'm very impressed with these new candles from Cire Trudon and Mâtre Tseng. From the story and the research I've read on Mâtre Tseng and the story behind each scent makes each burning experience very special. I cannot wait to visit La Maison de Toities when I visit Paris. Let me know your thoughts on these candles, or if you have any of them, what is your experience with them? Let's talk about it.